All right, so we're gonna start. We're not gonna start. We already started this. We started this a long time ago. We're gonna continue working on Poly, the tool to end all tools. It's going to be the best tool ever. We did have a funny thing like that we were talking about the other day that would actually be really cool is if Poly generated like a Nix flake like for you, and then you could actually just add packages to your Nix flake, but just you use Poly. Like basically, a user wouldn't even know that they're using Nix. I mean, they'd probably have to install Nix for it to work well, but you could do it. Have a single package manager and builder for everything. Be pretty cool. I'm not gonna do that, but it would be cool. I'm not gonna do that at this point anyway. Okay, so let's jump into Poly. We're still on one file. Beautiful. Let Rust Analyzer load up. I had to restart my system because OBS decided to freeze on every load. So that's really fun. Let's go ahead and rename this to Poly and see where we're at. Okay, so our latest diff was what? Oh yeah, implementing all the new constructors and making them work. Okay, very good. I added a required args thing to Ben. Right, and that's why we made all the new constructors. Kind of cleaned up a lot of code. And if I remember right, this builds. And if it builds, then we might as well get a commit out of this. Let's see. New Ben constructors and required args. Nice. So let's go ahead and look at our definition of Ben. We have the required args. I believe we went through and already fixed all of them. Let's look real quick. There's two that I'm thinking of. There's one that's Ocaml. Okay, good. See, we're defining everything here. Good. And the other one's Racket. Yep. Okay. And so the concept of required args is probably a little bit confusing in some way. But basically, because we already have, the only thing that's confusing about it is that a lot of times if you said required args, you might mean like user provided args, right? But in this case, I just mean args to the main bin command. So most of the time those are provided for you, but sometimes the user has to provide them themselves, and that's when we say required args. Pretty exciting. So essentially the idea here then is if we don't have enough required args. Hey Siren, I'm doing pretty good, thanks. Yeah, doing good. Hope you're doing well. If we don't have enough if we don't have the number of args that are required, there's a way to say that, then we want to do some potential auto detection. And if auto detection fails and nothing's been provided, then we say, sorry, I can't do anything for you. Arity makes more sense and less confusing. I don't think Arity makes sense for this personally, or params if you fancy that. Like what do we call Arity in general? That makes sense from like a params thing. like to a function. Arity is the number of arguments or operands taken by a function operation relation. Okay. It's good. It's good. Okay. That's just not how I think about it. But you're right. It's a more general term than I was thinking. We could say Arity. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it like it is. Okay. Exciting. Okay, here we go. Check if all args have been provided. If not, try to fill in valid arg. Otherwise, error. Okay, so this is what the code we haven't changed yet. So right now, this is doing something special for doing exec and doing exec only. It's not actually even checking. It's not even trying to check for the number of required args. So we're probably going to have to change the way some of this works. So we'll see. So this is, let's see, run is a method on bin, right? Yeah. So self is our bin. Fair, Amit. Fair. Hey, what's up, Swastik? How's it going? Okay. So the main point is, if we have so we might have some user args, right? I guess no matter what, we care about the user args. Let me think about this. So essentially, I want to collect the user args. And if there are no user args, then we go here. Let me just think if I actually want to change this or if I can just go right into the else branch for like checking required args. I think for now, this is fine. Like basically, I would expect at this point that the user is either providing the arg or they're providing nothing. And if they're providing nothing, then we want to try to do something special. Okay. So I think we can actually leave the if let sum branch alone. And we can just go into the else branch. So before I was doing if self.name equals doom and self.args equals exec, etc., etc. And I'm going to go into this and try to find the right thing to do, right? But first, let me see. I think we're just going to make this like required args. Oh, nice. That's awesome. That is great. It's nice to have a good feeling on the big tests. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've had to do something like that. Let me just think about this. Before I write code, let's write out the logic up here. I kind of did, but I need to think about it a little bit more. So check if args count equals required args, right? If not, magic. Yeah. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Maybe I do want to do something different here. And I just want to collect these user args, and instead of pushing them into Vec like separately, we'll do it a different way. I mean, maybe what I want, No, you can't match. You can't mix those. Like this is invalid Rust, right? Can I have an else branch on an if let, or an else if on an if let? I don't think I can. If let Rust. Okay. I actually want to look at the Rust reference probably to actually see the valid syntax. If let some, oh, you actually can do that. You can do an else if on an if let. I didn't know that. Okay, Rust by example. I just want to point out that this is really, really good. The fact that they gave us this little thing is really, really nice. Okay. Because what I actually want to do is say else if so if there's no user args, right? Then we want to go ahead and look at if the number of args equals the required args. So what do we have? We have we have self.args. What do they call it for a slice? Do they not have length on slice? Okay, I guess we'll have to look up that. Rust docs. Right? No. There we go. I actually just want the API docs. This is like crates docs. This is why Poly exists, guys. I have the wrong default browser open. It's really annoying. Close Chrome again. Okay, this is what I want. I just want std.lib. Okay. And we just want to look at a slice. Because I don't remember. And for some reason, Rust Analyzer, I feel like, was not giving me all of the correct completions. Len, right. Should have remembered that. That's the Rust thing. Len. Okay, self.args.len equals required args. And what does len actually... Right, it makes it a usize. It kind of makes me want to make required args a usize instead of a u8 so that I don't have to deal with this at all. And I very well might, because I'd only have to change it here and here. Is that not the problem though? Interesting. What's the actual problem? If maybe missing an else clause. Oh. It's just that I don't have an else clause. Okay. So maybe I don't have to make that a UA. I guess we'll undo that change. And this is actually going to be our else clause right here. So if self.name equals all this malarkey. So let's just think about this. Else if self.args.len equals required args. Yeah. Actually, I guess I'm gonna just leave it like it is for now. And just copy this like this. because it'll be the easiest way to do this. Okay. Now we should get the U8 error if that is an error. Cannot find value required args in the scope. Well, that's true. Okay. Now we should get that you can't compare a U8 to a U size. There we go. I knew that was true. I was just waiting for Rust to tell me. All right. That's fine. We can make these U sizes. I don't really care. You can always do as U size to cast U8 to U size. Yeah, I could. But if I'm going to cast it anyway, I mean, I understand. Like, if I was in a different environment, maybe I would make this not a U size. But the main reason it exists is to compare to len. And if that's the main reason that it exists, then it's kind of like might as well make it the type that I want it to be. I think I missed some chats here. What have you guys been talking about? Oh, the Rust extension for browsers. Okay. Hey kid, want to try 18 plus language, C++? Yeah, I saw that, Amit. That's so funny. So funny. Good times. Thanks Google Gemini for keeping us all safe. I was thinking about reading the Google paper on memory safety, but I don't know. It's like, I think it's actually a fairly good take, but I also don't know if I really feel like reading it. Like the synopsis of it, I probably agree with. I think my favorite thing that it said so far that I, without reading it, just like seeing excerpts, is that they were talking about how Go is not memory safe, or in what ways Go is not memory safe. And I was like, nice. Like, basically that there's a reason for Rust to exist, even in the world of Go. And I thought that coming from Google was nice to hear. Okay. So this actually works. It hasn't actually bought me anything so far. And part of the idea is like, I should be able to see like what the required args are or whatever. I kind of think what I want here, this will probably look prettier as a match. The only thing that kind of sucks, let me think about this for a second. The only thing that kind of sucks is I guess we could do that. Thinking through this. I mean, we want to factor this out to its own function at some point. And I'm just trying to think of like when I want to do that. Because right now it's pretty bad the way that it's written. I don't know why I called this F instead of V like it is above. Probably because I was just mad about something. Sounds like me. But it is a little bit confusing. Okay. I think maybe we just write out the write it out as an if else right now, and then we can come back to it. Else if self.name equals Racket and self.args. No, not self.args. What is it? Technically, it's the command that I care about. I mean, right now, this is only going to happen. I guess this is actually where the required args actually just saved me something. I'm not worried about the cow thing yet, but you mean that will help me get rid of this whole this P string thing, right? So we'll probably do that after I finish writing this out. Once we decide how we want the Racket thing to work. Yeah. Okay. Message check. 1 second. Okay. Right. So this is actually the first time that we're actually reaping some benefit from doing the required args. I mean, besides that, it's just a little bit more expressive in the type and what we're trying to do and all those kinds of things. Because in this case, we have if self.name equals Racket. We don't have to do any weird checks. We just know that our only thing that has a required arg that isn't provided, isn't hard-coded, is our Racket. So in this case, this is a Racket run. The only thing that sucks about this is that we don't really have like any information like we do. Like having Dune exec, you know what command you're trying to run. So I guess we'll just write a little comment that we're trying to run a Racket program. So I think there's two things that we could do here. One is we could look for any Racket file in current directory. Look for any Racket file in source directory. Right? So pwd/source, right? I think we could look in those two places to see if we have a Racket file. And if not, if we can't find it at this point, then we could panic if we want, or we could just let it fail because it's going to fail anyway. I think the difference here is that if you run Dune exec with no arguments, it will actually create an error. But if you run Racket with no arguments, it actually just opens a REPL. So in that case, like we actually will want to explicitly return an error or panic under here. If none, panic somehow. I don't know yet. We technically have a result, but the result is just std.io error. We could pull in anyhow now and then like create our own little errors that way, or just we could also just like create our own error in general, like just new type an error basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be pretty darn similar to our code above. So let's just write it out. Readdoer let file. Yeah, that's fine. entries dot find map e if let okay entry equals e, then we'll say entry dot path match. In this case, we actually just care about p dot extension. We don't really care about anything else. So we'll just say match p dot extension. And sum x if x dot to stir equals some Racket. Okay. And if this exists, then we're going to want to return actually the full file name. All right, RCH, see you, dude. Which I forget what that is on path, but we'll find out in a second. Otherwise, we'll return none. Okay. So let's see what it is for file name, or on path buff, I mean. This is like really not working. Is my Rust analyzer just screwed up right now or what? Let me just try restarting it. Eglot, reconnect. Did I screw up this match somehow? Oh, yeah, I sure did. That's really funny. I was writing lists for a second. Everybody's fine with that, right? So for now, let's just return none here. So we have the same thing. And right, it's just going to hate me forever because I'm not doing what it thinks I should do. So let's just return a self.args to vec as a default so that we just get down to the actual error we care about. And let's see where we're at. Oh, right. It's just that this doesn't have an else here. Okay. Now we're down to the error we actually care about. One second. All right, let's take a look. So now we'll see if Rust Analyzer is actually going to be nice. See, it's still just giving me all this shit. I don't know what's borked here, but something definitely is. Oh well. I don't need an LSP. Let's look up pathbuff. File underscore name. Turns the final component of the path if there is one. Nice. Looks good. So I guess what we could do is, instead of having to do all this, well, actually this will work. We should be able to just do p file name like this, since it's an option anyway. So let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Can I do something like an as ref here? No. I could just add the file name to the match here, kind of like I did with extension and stem before. Maybe that's what I want to do. And then I don't have to worry about all this. Otherwise, I mean, I could clone up here and it would work, but I don't really want to have to clone if I don't have to. So I think we'll just do what we did before. Match on a tuple of these guys, and we'll say sum ext, comma, some file name, and then instead of this, we'll just say some file name. And I think, what is file name in this case? You still hate me? Now that I'm surprised about. Let's just make sure cargo says the same thing. P is borrowed here, returns a value referencing data owned by the current function. Okay. Oh, right. No, I forgot. That's why we have file name must be, what does file name return? See, it's not even loading. It's not loading anything for me. Bus analyzer is just totally not working right now for me. Returns, that's why it's an and os stir. So that's why we have to do this, just like we did for file stem. Because now we don't have like a pointer that's not going to live long enough, etc., etc. So that should work. All right, 1 second. Have to organize something. BRB. 2 minutes. Okay. Hello? Okay, we're good. Audio, 1, 2, 3. All right. Yeah, no, it's just gone. All right, 1 second. All set. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we basically have something very similar to the code we have up here. It's just a little bit different. Do I do the peaky blinders cut meta? Do you do the peaky blinders cut? Short on the sides and long up top? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Uh, you know, it's there. And then this is a ponytail. Yeah. There you go. I just need the short brim hat, right? It's pretty funny. It's probably popularized first in like the Viking shows, right? But yeah. Now apparently every historical show, everybody has that haircut. Okay. So we have that. So this should be our file name. As a string, we can pretty much do the exact same thing that we did up here. And oh yeah, the expect is actually really nice here. I forgot that that's what we did before. So here we're actually returning this, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So we won't have to do anything special that we weren't doing before. So I'm happy with that. So we're going to say no Racket file found to run. Try specifying with --args. Okay, good enough. You can't do something more than 5% of the population does. I know. I had a really hard time not like I've had the haircut for a while now. I don't know how long. Years. Let me see. I can estimate that it's between 4 to 5 years that I've had almost this exact same haircut with varying lengths up top. But and I didn't do it for a long time because it was so popular. And I finally decided to let myself do something that was popular, which is very against my nature. Same thing with writing Ocaml, right? I mean, it's just so popular. I mean, if you look at all of the programmers out there, so many people are writing Ocaml that it's just let myself do something that's popular. Hey Prophet, what's up? It is kind of funny how it's like popular in our little bubble, right? But that's about it. Made me think I need a substitute. Yeah, there definitely was that thing for a while, whimsically, and I actually didn't expect that I'd get into using Ocaml on stream, mostly because so many other people were doing it. I don't know, man. What is it from? Is it from growing up as a 90s punk rock kid or something that I just feel like I can't do what everybody else is doing? I don't know what it is. Yeah, Unison is going to stay safe for a while. Yeah, probably will, right? It's funny. Okay, so we can pretty much from here copy the code we have up here. We probably could have copied basically everything and just changed file stem to file name, but that's okay. We'll just do it this way for now. So that's a good reason to actually call this P, because then I don't have to do that same thing over again. So let's see. We're going to call this P. We're going to say, I'm sorry. No, this is actually file name. But we'll say project. I don't even care right now. It's not really project, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. And found Racket file. Racket source file. Sure. We'll just say Racket source. I like that better than project. We don't need to even say Racket. We already know what we're in Racket. Found source. This looks good. You mind people talking about other streamers in here? I mean, it depends. It depends, right? I mean, I do actually agree with what Prime said on the Zitter the other day, where he's just like, you know, don't talk shit on other streamers, blah blah blah. But I go back and forth, because like in one way, of course, I agree. Like, let's not just randomly talk shit on other people. But I also kind of think there's a place for talking about things. I don't know. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's so funny. I literally just took that you're gonna talk shit on people. I forgot that you could talk about somebody in a nice way. Yeah, man. Shows you where my head is. No, that's totally cool. Totally cool. Yeah, I'm just a total mean-hearted person. I think that's really what people can understand. Like, if you've been around the stream any amount of time, you guys know that I'm just like such an absolute mean person. That is who I am at the core. Not true. Am I like fairly judgmental? Yes. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying my best. Trying my best to get over all of my random arbitrary judgments of the way other people live their lives. Stephen Wolfram streams? Why does that name sound so familiar? I know that name, and you probably are like, what? Why don't you just know who this person is? Wolfram Alpha. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wolfram Alpha. There we go. Okay. Yes. Yes. Nice. Yes. All right. No, that's really cool. That's really fun. That sounds cool. What's is he on Twitch whimsically? No. No, I haven't studied math in 20 years. Yeah. Well, it's not exactly true, right? Like, I've had to learn some math on the job. But what's his handle? I want to follow him. You can post a link. Or I'll just do a shout out randomly to somebody that might. Is he a nice person? Am I safe to give him a shout out? All right. Stephen Wolfram. There we go. Shout out given. Just so that I have an easy way of following him. All right, cool. Yeah, no, that's great. That sounds fun. Random shout out, huh? Yeah, you do that once in a while. I did that to Prime one time, and he DM'd me, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for the shout out." And it's like probably like 20 people, you know. And I was like, "Yeah, man, you got it." It was so funny. I was like, "All right, oh, very good, very good." Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. No, but really, I think where I was going with the whole like Prime saying, "Oh, don't talk shit on other streamers." Like, I do have this tendency when people bring up streamers that I don't bite my tongue very well, and then I'll just be like I'll get. This happened the other day, and I just started talking about this person. I'm just like, I'm sure he's fine, but like we're just so different, and like I just can't handle the way that he like communicates or runs the stream or something like that, and it's just like, and it's just me, and that's when I read Prime's tweet, I was kind of like, maybe I'm that person. Maybe I'm the person talking shit on other people, but not exactly intentionally. Thanks, Whimsically. I appreciate it. All right. It's just mutual hatred. No. I mean, it's people that I don't even know, right? I mean, I think that's really what it comes down to. And I don't get along with like certain personalities, just like everyone else, right? It's not like I'm saying this is a bad person. I think that's part of the difference. Okay, so far this is only looking in this current directory. So I kind of want to do something gross and say, like find map returns an option, right? Damn it, LSP is not working. Okay. Pretty sure find map returns an option. What is that on again? Option. I tried that already and it still didn't work. So I'm just going old school. Find map. Where? What is happening? Oh, wait. No, entries. Entries is FS redir, but entries is like this weird thing. All right, let's just look up find map this way. Okay, it's on iterator. That's what it is. Iterator's on find map, and it returns an option. Okay. I was right on that. So entries.findMap gives me one option. I'm trying to think of the nicest way I can do this to... I guess I should see if a source exists, because if a source doesn't exist, I bet it's going to... Well, let's just make sure this works to start with. How about that? How about we make sure something works to start with? And then we can see about going into like a source directory or something. Cargo install path dot. And then we just have to find a good example. I think Intel is probably going to be the best example. Snippets, perfect. So if I say poly racket run, nope. That didn't work. All right. All right. Why didn't that work? Let's see. Let's see why that didn't work. Oh, I know why it didn't work. I did equals instead of not equals. Classic. Okay. Yay! It doesn't actually do anything. We'll put it on, we'll do it on something that does something. Okay. Poly Racket run. Trun. Okay. Nice. We started our Racket web server without the hard part of typing the name of the thing. Now, of course, the funny part of this is, of course, it's literally just this, but that's not the point. Okay, so it is working. Yay for us. Racketeering, exactly. It is really funny, like how all the scheme stuff is named, right? So like Racket came out of Scheme, and then like a flavor of Scheme is Guile. It's the one I used anyway, and I just think it's hilarious because like you don't think about naming languages after things that have like negative connotations. Not super popular anymore, and I like that all the Scheme people did that. We did this. We don't have to worry about that. MIT Scheme. Now that's scary. All right. Now I'm just interested to see what happens. Like I know this isn't like the best idea ever, and there's some nicer way that I could do this. But if I say, okay, we'll just do that. And let's see, we're in the source directory. So if I say Racket server Racket, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. If I, it's not what I meant to do. Get out of here. All right. If I say Poly Racket run, okay, cool. That's what I thought was going to happen. No such file or directory on the source. Okay. So I don't expect this to fail, but this is fine to fail because my little special things here. So now I just have to decide like how I actually want to do this. So what's the right call? It's probably like an or something like that. And that's going to be on option. So let's look into that. What can we do if our option is none to do something else? That's the question. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, if you're going to be home in time. Okay. Returns the option if it contains a value, otherwise returns opt B. Not really what I want to do. Okay. She will be home in a few minutes, so you can just wait till she gets home to leave. Or else returns the option if it contains a value, otherwise calls F and returns the result. Okay, we could probably make this work. Or else Vikings, sure. Yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna try an or else on here and see if I regret it. So I think we should be able to just get away with something like this. The function should require no arguments and do something. All right, it's happy with that, so that means we did something right. So we're going to go ahead and say let mute source entries equals fs read dir ./source, and read dir returns a result, if I remember right. This is where an LSP does kind of speed up your development, right? Just when you're doing quick type checks. Okay. So, oh, did it work now? Is it randomly? No, it's not working. Okay. I thought should we just try one more time? We'll try one more time. I doubt it's going to do anything though. We'll pretend it's going to work. It's just not working for some reason. I tried restarting my LSP several times and it's not being kind to me, which is sad. Okay. I think we're back. Nope. Still not giving me anything. Nope. Oh well. Because 10x devs don't use LSPs, obviously. All right. All right. So anyway, reader returns a result. So we just want to make this. Yeah, if they work correctly, right? Usually Rust Analyzer is fine. I mean, it likes to eat up the memory, all the memory in the world. Not quite. What do I want to do? Is there a nice way to turn a result into... Wouldn't it be nice if we could just return a result into an option? Is there a way I can do that? I feel like there is. This is when I wish I had Hugel for Rust. And I just said result to option. Converts from result to option. There it is. It's right there. It's okay. Okay. So let's do this. Let mute source entries. And we're just going to say, okay. Okay, perfect. And then we're just going to have some beautiful code. Everybody loves this code. Just be okay with it, okay? And we'll just call this entries, and we'll say source entries. All right. So if all of that worked out, because I don't actually care whether the source directory exists or not. That's why I don't really care like what that error is. I mean, I only care in the sense that I care if there's none at the end of this whole chain, which is what this whole chain does with the expect at the end. You get what I'm saying. So we're going to say if let sum entries equals source entries. And now we're going to do basically the exact same code that we already have up here. And we can pretty much just copy and paste. And that's what we're going to do. Because we are. So we're going to start by just basically doing this. And it is ugly as sin. but that's okay. Most of this code is. All right. Make sure I didn't lose my spot here. Let's delete this here. We don't need that anymore. And let mute source entries equals fs redir source. Okay. If let sum entries equals. Oh, you know what? I just realized the difference. I think I realized why this isn't working. And it's actually my env_rc. Env_rc. I'm going to do env_rc deny right now. And then I'm going to reload eglot. I think this is what it is. Is it's looking at my... It's not using my global environment. It's using my local environment. I probably just don't have Rust Analyzer actually, configured correctly. I think that's what it is. Let's see. Because I installed a new Emacs plugin for package for this. Boom. That was it. It was env_rc. And so that just means that in my next flake, I don't actually have Rust Analyzer included. And that's why it's screwed up. Fair. Now I know. Need to do that. Okay. So what are we doing? We have let project. Okay. So why did this get so screwed up? Let project equals entries. Why? I swear I did this and it didn't actually indent the way that I wanted it to. Okay. Now it is. Major indentation here. Okay. That's fine. Find map, if let, okay entry, and we're going to go through this whole thing again just to return the string. Obviously, we can factor this out into another function. I'm just getting all this out here. Else, none, yes. But the problem is here, no, I am missing an extra thing. Because this is that. No. Why is this so screwed? Screwed up. That's that. This is the if let. Oh, right. Okay. This might help. Well, almost. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. We're getting there. Okay, let project equals find map, blah, blah, blah. And basically all I want to do here is return the result of this if let right here. So let me just think about this. That should actually just be this. I think. Yeah, pretty sure I'm right. Okay. In which case, I think this is going to make more sense anyway. And once we make that its own function, all this will go away. That's going to be nice. We can just pass a little find map, pass a function to find map, and use it in both places. Okay. And we can clean this up too. We don't need it this way, obviously. Okay, So let's just make sure everything compiles before we move on. We do have the if let here, so we need an extra else none here. That's what we're missing. Obviously, there's a nicer way of doing this. We'll get there eventually. Okay. Well, we'll get there. Let me just think about this. It's fine. We probably just need to map some of this. Like, since this is an option anyway, we could just map it instead of doing all of this craziness. Instead of like getting entries inside of it. That'll work, right? Yeah, I can just do that now. Let's get it compiling and then we'll fix it. I keep forgetting about that whole thing. I keep forgetting about the whole compiling thing. Okay, no. So this is the end of our or else thing. And then we should have expect there. Okay. So now it's just saying probably that I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, just kidding. Right. Because I didn't declare it as mute. I forgot about that. I think I can just do, can I just do mute entries here in the sum? Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's really bad. It's really bad of me. I don't disagree. Okay, it's building and now we can actually fix it. Well, it might be helpful if I didn't run cargo build on my Racket project. Yay. Okay, so it's building. It most likely works. I guess we should make sure it works before we refactor it and then get surprised that it doesn't work. And this is because of, oh, it's because I did I'm screwing my life over right now. And this is because before I had this in an Flake using Durham. And so now my system version and my my other ones keeps messing up. But I mean the real fix to this, of course, is getting Rust Analyzer working in my next Flake, but that's okay. Why aren't you using Poly to build Poly? I can. The main reason is actually, well, I can't use it to install currently. I don't have that functionality. Okay. So Poly Racket run, this is just to make sure that we don't have a regression. And then Poly Racket run should still work. No, it doesn't work. The code doesn't like me. You want to run Racket. Let me try to help you with that. Found source, open input file, cannot open module file, module path, Racket / hello. Oh, right. Yes. No. I messed up. I found the file, but then when I return it, I'm not actually giving it the path. So what I actually need to do is give it this, but instead I'm just giving it server.racket. You can see that right there. Pretty obvious. So let's think about this. I know I have file name, and I know I'm doing the read dir source. I'm pretty sure if I look at the whole path, it's going to be everything, but I guess I don't know that 100% for sure. So let's look at, so this returns a path buff, but I'm pretty sure on path buff, I'm pretty sure toStir this just returns an option stir. Okay. I guess so I don't have to change anything. I could just do this. So instead of doing p.up file name, I could instead just do as os stir for the actual p. And let's just try this real quick. p dot as os stir dot to os string. I know I'm not using you there, but we just want to see what happens. Nice. Because of the way I have this hard coded, like obviously this isn't like the most robust way of doing it, but because of the way this is working. I mean, I would say like 99% of the time, this is how you use it. It's probably fine. I just wasn't sure if that's like how pathbuff would actually work, but it actually just stores this string, and then the entry is still basically just still using that /source. I just wasn't sure if it was going to give an absolute path instead of that the path that I passed in, basically the relative path. So then this actually works. I can take out all of the file name stuff, and it actually comes down to the other thing I can do actually above is do the exact same thing, which actually makes it a little bit nicer, in my opinion. So if x to stir, and we can actually then get rid of the whole os stirs, and we could just do, oh, I see, we have toStir as an option. That should be fine if we just do toStir as an option. We'll probably change it to that, but for now we'll have this uglier code, and we can get rid of this whole p.up file name thing. But let's just make sure what I did actually works. Of course it doesn't, because I didn't update my match statement. Okay, that looks better. And now we can do this. Because that way, if these are the same, I can easily put them into the same function, right? That's the idea anyway, is I don't have to have two functions that have the exact same source code. You know, you guys know about that? You know that like repeating things is maybe not like the best thing. p dot as os stir dot to os string. Okay. No, I'm not surprised, Kinran. I haven't built it with Nix in a while. Yeah. I gotta start shilling clean code, right? Never repeat yourself. Wait, that's not how it goes. Don't repeat yourself, right? Dry. This code's so dry right now. Oh my God. Okay. Got a little carried away. This should work. And if we do a poly Racket run, yay, look at me. Dry and solid, right? Okay, so then what we can actually do, since toStir returns an option anyway, is I think, be able to do this. I don't know why this makes this code sad. Why are you making that code sad? p.toStir. Why were you mad? Why is that code making other code sad? What are you guys doing? Dry and solid, right? Okay. Method not found in and stir. Oh, okay. Oh, right, because I didn't change. So this simplifies some things for me. Now, part of it, though, So this stir actually shouldn't live long enough. What does into string do again? I forget. Well, I changed the code, so now it doesn't do anything. It's OS string into string. Let's see. I don't remember what that actually returns. Into toOS string. Okay. And then into string. Is it a string or is it? It's the result string OS string thing. Okay. Yeah, I know. You would think that I could pick that up, but you know, I just had to be sure. All right, and it returns a result, which is why it's this way. Now, p.toStir is there. I don't have to worry about that. I think what I can do is, now that I have a stir, I can just make it a string. I think. You don't like me? The following trait bounds were not satisfied. Oh, right, because it's an option. Forgot about the whole option thing. So then I'm kind of like back into kind of where I was before. I mean, I can map it. I'm just trying to think of like what I actually care about. I think the thing is, if I do map it, and then I have an option of string. No, you don't like me there either? Oh, it's because of the type mismatch. That's why it was failing before. The type mismatch between branches. Okay. Now they have the same type. Yay. So project should just be an option of string now. No, it's actually string, right? Because I do an expect. And now it's just a string. And I want to put it into as stir. Okay, very good, very good. So I can get rid of this. And I actually can just make project P. Okay. And now that I have v.push, p.stir, you don't like me anymore. And what don't you like me? Value p does not live long enough, right? Because it's no longer that p anymore, which is okay because I have that p there. Okay, yay. A little bit simplified. A lot more simplified once I take that function out. Okay, let's just make sure it's working. Looks good. All right, so now I have to figure out where I want to put this function. where do I want to put this function that takes a result dir entry error and returns an option of string? I guess for now we could just make it a top level function. I guess we could do that. Okay. Function, what does this do? Find Racket. Find Racket source. Sure. And it takes a result. Let's see. I think it's just an entry, right? Entry. So we'll just call it an E, like we do down there, which is result of dir entry. Yep, that's what I want. Oh, this is where Emacs is kind of screwing me over by not doing what I want it to. Instead, it's putting it down here and not putting it up here. Okay. It's like this, isn't it? Don't tell me what to do, Amit. Yeah, we're just scrolling. We're scrolling down. Okay. Okay, so we have result dir entry and error. Sure. This should be fine. And this returns an option of string. Okay. Now we should be able to copy our little thing here. Not that one. This one. Yay for us. What? That's not the error you're looking for. Cannot find error in the scope. Okay. Is it a special error that you're not going to tell me about? Let's see. Is it a std.io error? I don't actually know. Well, we could pretend it is. See, that time it worked. I don't understand why it works sometimes and it doesn't other times. You're not the boss of me. That's right. Remember 90s punk rock kid? Okay. All right. This looks fine. Now we should be able to, wrong place. We should be able to replace all this malarkey with whatever I just called that. Find Racket source. There it is. Okay, looks good. A little bit nicer looking. I don't know if it's much nicer looking than it was. Just kidding. Find Racket source and get rid of all of this. Entries.find map find Racket source, or else if let some mute entries fs read dir .source okay entries.find map find Racket source, else none. Okay, so I think this would then be nicer, I think, if we just made this fs read dir source okay dot map We'll do it on a new line for funsies. So this is our ease, right? And oh, wait, let me think. Find map. No, this is right. Ease. Do I just want this? I think this is what I want. But I feel like it would be nicer some other way that I just am not processing right now. Is that not the same thing? What did I do wrong? Mismatch types, expected enum option. Ah, right, I have a nested option. That's fine. And that's because I'm not taking the other one back out. Is there a flat map on option? I forget. Or do I just have to do a flatten? Option. Flatten. I think I just need to do a flatten. Okay, it's fine. I think it's still nicer than what I had before. Okay, and this doesn't like this, and why not? Cannot borrow ease as mutable as it is not declared as mutable. Okay, I actually don't know if this works, does it? Yeah, it sure does. Okay, how about it? If I was just quiet and I wrote that and didn't say like whether I knew it or not, you guys would have been like, oh yeah, of course he knows exactly what he's doing. Just kidding, you wouldn't have done that. Okay. Else if self.name equals Racket, we're running a Racket program. We look for entries. We do a little find map. We say or else. We do a little redir of source in case we're not finding it in the top level. And we go from there. It's just going to find the first file, which maybe is not exactly what we want, but it's good enough. Good enough for now. Then we have the whole found source, blah, blah, blah. I think what would be nice is if we did something similar here and just got this ish out. I think we can make this a lot terser, more terse, and make it similar to the other one. Since we don't actually care about this, I guess the main thing is that we were like, if we can't find that, there are many problems. There are many problems if we can't read .. I'm just trying to decide, like, in what case would that happen? I can't think of one, to be honest. Okay, let me actually read your suggestion now and see if I like it. Why not make an iterator that iterates when you rm-rf? Yeah, that's fair. Why not make an iterator that iterates over files recursively and unify both Ocaml and Racket code? Yeah, I could. I probably won't. I'd rather just handle two cases, honestly. So we'll have a find Racket source, and then we'll say function find Ocaml project. And this is going to be, I don't know why I put a space here. Is it because I've been writing Ocaml? Probably. Error, entry, error, option, string. I'd like to return a string if I can here, and then that would simplify that code quite a bit as well. So that would be nice. We'll see if I can actually, if I can manage that. Let's just move it for now, and then we'll worry about the actual, that actual problem. Okay. Yeah. So stem is an OS stir, and ideally I could do a 2 stir and then 2 string sort of deal. P was a path buff, and that let me just do a 2 stir. So I'm already forgetting. I guess we can try looking at what the LSP gives us. So let's just get that down there, and we'll say stem. Okay. So we already have a stem.toStir. Perfect. So this is going to be basically the same thing. Map s.toString. Yay. Much better. And then these are getting closer in how they look, which makes me happy. Find Ocaml project. Wouldn't it be nice if it just knew that I actually didn't need the pointer there? And I was just putting in like the function itself. Okay. No project found in directory, try specifying with -- args, and then this just becomes, right. That's how we do this. We just make this P, and it's not a let, it's a reassignment. Okay. So now we have this. How about it? Like, there's an opportunity where I could make this like smaller, but I'd have to change a bunch of things. It's already at least easy to read. Like a lot easier to read than it was before. Much, much, much easier to read than it was before. So I think that's nice. I mean, I could put some empty lines in there to make it a little bit better than it is. 1 second. Okay. All right. What do we got? We have P equals entries, find map. Yeah, I mean, like, what? What would people do here? They might do something like, whoops, wrong way. They might do something like this. Just to like break up some of these like declarations and stuff. I don't know. It doesn't bother me reading code like this, but I'm just used to it being dense, probably coming from Lisp. Wrap with parens. I'm not gonna worry about that comment. Good enough for me. Okay. Where was I? So we made this like quite a bit better than it was. I guess the other thing we could do is like, if there's no Ocaml file, we could do something similar to what we're doing in Racket in Ocaml, but I don't think I really care. I mostly just wanted to see like what this code actually looked like. What would it look like for this to be written this way? So I don't know. I might be happy with this the way that it is. Let me see if there's something I want to do here that's different than the way that it is. I guess what I could do is, instead of I could do an e.ok map entry on here, and that might be nice because I don't actually care. Since I'm not actually caring about the value of that error, we could do something like this. And then oops. Well, like that. Does that do the same thing? I see. I would need a flatten if I did this, which is fine. I can do that. Do I think this actually is better code than the other? I don't know. e.ok.map entry. Is there really a big difference between the way that I have it with it flat? Not really. I am kind of annoyed that there's not a flat map, to be honest. It's a little annoying. See you, Kenran. We're about to head out anyway. I think I'm going to leave it with if let. It's fine. Yeah, readability is extremely subjective. In my opinion, it's subjective. Subjectively, it's subjective. Okay, I think this looks good, and I need to go anyway. And I'm happy with how far we got today. So go us. When I write, it's readable, exactly. So let's see. We're gonna say clean code, dry, refactor. I have an extra space, an extra new line because I switched up my quotes. Oh, nice. Love it. So it's such clean code right here. Okay. So what are we going to do next time? I think that's the main thing I need to write out because I will forget since I'm only working on this once a week. Okay, we did this. Okay, go us. Don't need that comment anymore. Don't need that comment anymore. Oh yeah, the cow thing. I would like to do that because I've never messed with cows. I've only messed with the living kind. Use a cow here instead. Let's make that a to-do because then I can search for it. Okay. I think that would be cool to figure out next time how that works. And then maybe we'll finish cleaning up some of this code, maybe put it somewhere else. Because I think that would be nicer too if it wasn't in this run. Make run a lot shorter. And just have like a fill in args method on Ben or something like that. Fill args. I think that would be nice. Okay. Looks good. Okay, so we know what we're going to do next time. I'm just going to leave it like it is. Well, okay. Add note for next time. How about that? How about that? When you have your own repo, you can just do whatever the heck you want. And I do need to fix the Nix flake. That's what I should also do. That would be a good thing to do. We'll put that at the top. Actually, I usually put these main things on Node. Oh yeah, I did this. It's just a hash update. Yeah. I also need to fix it where it's not using Rust. I don't have Rust Analyzer included in my dev shell though. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Kinran. It's good to know. Is there a way to like automatically update those kinds of things? To do add Rust Analyzer to Nix flake. Yeah, it would be nice. Update hash in Nix flake. Okay. More notes. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Awesome. I think that's it for now.